Grand rising, powerful being. Are you holding on to doubt, fear, and then that's causing a bunch of worry, and now you can't even do the steps that you need to do to get you to where you want to go? Because every day you're hitting on yourself in the head with the bar you set. Keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily, because that's what I'm going to be talking about. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Ed Talks Daily. As you all know, every single day I have a podcast, and it has to do with personal growth and motivation. And today I just want to talk to you about letting go of doubt and fear of not being good enough, of beating yourself in the head for not being where you want to be, rather than doing the things to get you where you want to be. This whole week, the term has been all about you, right? The first day I was like, choose you, right? The second day I said, focus on you. Now, the third day I want to say, believe in you. Unless you believe in you, you're going to be doubting yourself. You're going to be fearing that you're not good enough. And that's going to leave you in a spiral of worry. So when doubt and fear are cousins, they like to hang out. I don't know why. Doubt and fear, they're just like, they work out. They work together. Why? Because when you're scared of something, you might doubt of your ability to be able to handle the thing. So doubt is saying, man, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I'm ready to handle this situation that's currently facing me. So somebody says, well, Ed, what's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with if I don't know how to handle something? Well, it's not saying that doubt is bad. I was saying, if you're on top of a building that's way up, you best doubt your ability to make it down without getting hurt. That's a good doubt right there. Like, if you're in a building that you might fall, and you're like, mate, can I jump? Can I actually make this? Can I make this jump? Actually, it's probably a good idea to doubt it, because maybe it will cause you to take a little time and really analyze what you're doing. What you're really doing here? Why in the world are you jumping off a building? I think likewise, doubt comes for a reason in our lives, right? Doubt comes to protect us, because if you doubt that you'll make it down a building that's really high, that's like 30 stories, well, that's a good doubt, because if you jump down, something bad gonna happen. Reason something inside of us didn't necessarily click, and we start doubting ourselves. We start to bring up our limitations rather than our possibilities. The moment our limitations outweighs our possibilities, our desire to succeed diminishes. The moment you see more limitations than possible routes is the moment that you stay limited. The moment you said, oh, this is possible for me, the moment you say, oh, I can actually do this, the moment something shifts inside of you, everything shifts for you outside. That's how it works. It is almost, there is a shift that has to happen within you in order for that shift to happen outside of you. So it's a constant shift. So doubt, fear, worry ain't serving you no purpose, and I'm just here to remind you to let that sucker go so you can grow. Doubt, fear, and worry ain't bringing nothing for you, so I'm just reminding you to let that sucker go so you can grow. So what does doubt look like? Doubt is like, I'm doubting myself. I'm doubting like what I could possibly do, and the antidote to doubt is remembering who you truly are. Remembering all the stuff you already went through before and how you overcame these things and how now you can overcome them again. Like, how come most likely there's a bigger chance that you bring about how you mishandled a situation rather than how you handled it pretty well? You get what I'm saying? How come a lot of times we want to talk about, man, I mishandled this situation. Look what I didn't do. Look what I could have done. Look what I should have done. But then we don't give ourselves enough credit for the times that we that we were able to triumph over these times. Listen, if you're going to hit yourself in the head for the shit you've done in your life, if you're going to hit yourself in the head for the things you've done wrong, you got to give yourself credit for what you did right. I mean, that's right. If you're going to hit yourself in the head for what you do wrong, then you got to give yourself credit for what you do right. You know, it's not fair for you to say, hey, oh man, I only do wrong by myself. That's not true. The truth of the matter is you do right by you too. The truth of the matter is you're not just, okay, I just make mistakes all day. That's not true. You don't just make mistakes all day. You might take on something, miss it, but you don't make mistakes all day. Guess what? You actually do things that help yourself, that helps other people. So once we always look at ourselves like, man, I only make mistakes, we are really forgetting the truth of the matter. And guess what the truth of the matter is? The right thing. Right? You took on something, you missed the opportunity to do the right thing, or you missed the opportunity to do the thing that will best serve you. So because of that, now you have to say, wait, opportunity will come right back around for me to make it right. But the next time the opportunity comes back around for you to make it right, if you focus on how you didn't take it on and made the right one, you're literally robbing the opportunity. So doubt in the moment of a possible action is a robber of your possibility. Let me repeat that. Doubt in the midst of the time you can be spending for action robs the time you could put in the work to act. So rather than keep continuously doubting yourself, blaming yourself, shaming yourself, I want you to start to give yourself credit. If you're going to give yourself credit for all the times you messed up in life, give yourself credit for all the time you showed up for yourself. If you're going to give up credit for all the times you fell off your routine, give yourself credit for all the time you got back on it. If you're going to give yourself credit for all the failed relationships, give yourself credit for all the love that you've had. You got to give yourself credit for the things that you've done well as well. Now, I'm not here to say, hey, ignore all the things you've done bad. Don't acknowledge them. Don't grow from them. Don't learn from them. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying be completely oblivious, positive thinking. Don't look at how you played a role in your own demise. I'm saying looking solely on how you played a role in your own demise does not get the demise to switch. Oh, I messed up. I feel like to take the role to be the solution. One of them, listen, there's one way we have to be able to observe and act. Observation is not a tool of condemnation. I mean, I just put these things in this way. Observation is not a tool of condemnation. It's a tool of clarity. Clarity is the number one way for you to be able to see in order to act. I don't observe and hit myself up in the head with observation. I observe so I can see. I look around to see where I'm going. I look around to see where I'm at. But I look within to see where I can possibly go. This is the light of my intuition. This is the only reason why circumstances doesn't cause me to waver. Somebody says, well, do you have everything in your life figured out? Hell no, I don't. But what I have figured out is me. And somebody says, oh, you figured yourself out? What you mean by that? I don't have everything in my life figured out. For instance, I don't have the house I want. I don't have the money I want. I don't have the clients I want. I don't have everything I want. But I have everything I need. So it's like, you're like, oh, you mean to tell me in the midst of all of it, once you know that you are it, that you need, everything else becomes absolute and you're able to focus on it. Yes. Guess what? I don't hit myself in the head too much for what I did wrong because I understood that was just a reflection of my consciousness. So somebody says, well, if you're going to give your listen, if you have a partner, you're going to give them credit for all this shit they done. You got to give them credit for the moment they were really loving. The moment they showed up for you. The moment that they said, man, you know what? I understand. This was just your mood. Sometimes people are in a certain state and they say a certain thing. They didn't really mean it. It just was in that state. Unconditional love is understanding the difference between a state and a person. Well, yeah, somebody said, well, I don't like acting this way. It looked like, man, What's going on with me? Well, this is just the state. Sometimes I'm in a pissed off state. Don't fucking talk to me. And it's part of life. But guess what? Once we identify as the state, we never identify as our being. I like to identify as my being. I see the shit. But I look at me and I see the beauty. So I see the beauty in the shit. I'm like, oh, okay, this is some beautiful shit. Damn, why my phone keep falling? I'm like, this is some beautiful shit. Guess what? What I learned about what's dirty is that things sprout out of it. I have a big, look. What if I told you that what I'm about to eat right here is growing in a pile of shit? Are you gonna believe me or not? Well, to some extent, I took some chicken coop. Grand Rising, May. Grand Rising, Queen. Empress. Goddess. Listen. I took shit. I put it with the dirt. And sometimes you feel like you're in the dirt. And there's a lot of shit in your life. I took the dirt, I took the shit, and I took some leaves. Some leaves that fell off. So think about it. Leaves, old habits. And we're in a season of shedding leaves. So the leaves that shed off, old habits, the dirty things in your life. Somebody says, what is that? Somebody says shadow. And then I took the dirt challenges. I mixed in my old habits, dirt, and all the shit. And I used it as compost to grow. Literally, that's how my garden is grown. Nature tells you everything. So God has a way to transform what we think is horrible into beauty. Now, the formula, the way that happens is I got no freaking idea. Now, scientists says, well, you missed the carbon with this and this happens. There's a process called decomposition. Yeah, that's what happens. But guess what? Oh, I'm just going to hold this. This is ridiculous. The process of decomposition is that things have to break down and remolded so new life can sprout. And that's how all this shit works. Okay? But we can't dwell we can't dwell in the materialistic aspect of the stuff and not focus on the growth. What I focus mostly on is not on the shit, on the fallen leaves or the dirt. I'm focused on watering my plants. I'm focused on making sure the bugs don't come get it, the raccoons don't come get it. My major focus is not getting rid of the dirt, of the trash in the dirt. My major focus is on cultivating the garden. Out of the dirt will come forth the plants. But guess what doubt, fear, and worry does? Doubt, fear, and worry are weeds. They're weeds that pluck the garden because they're solely focused on the dirt. They're really like these little bugs and maggots going all around trying to eat up. It eats you up inside because you're focusing on the shit too much. Now I know, my language is like that. But this is how I feel like expressing myself this rising. So I will do it as I please. So I'm like, okay, I've seen all the bugs. You put all of a sudden, you start focusing on the shit too much. And then you forgot about the plants. And now you eat up all the shit. Now, as you eat up all the shit, you start eating up your own roots. That's so deep. I didn't watch the bugs come in. And I only see this in real life, what I'm telling about. I've seen the bugs done come in this bin. They come down because I put some compost in there. I put some food in there. And the food got rotten. And all of a sudden, the bugs not only eating the food, they're eating the plants and the roots of the plants. So what I'm saying is, sometimes when you start to focus on how everything is going wrong in your life and you start to doubt yourself, fear yourself, and shame, blame, guilt, it is literally you're coming in focusing on what's underneath the surface and not realizing what's sprouting out of it. And once we realize that we are the plant, we start to look at our environment differently. I sit in shit and I smell the shit and I smell flowers. Somebody's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you sitting in this shit? I'm like, oh, I sat in this shit so long, I started to realize it's actually what I need the most. Somebody said, well, we're going to get up and get out of this shit. Well, I'm not going to get up and get out of this shit because pain never leaves. I'm just going to grow out of the shit. Somebody says, that's really deep. What you mean? It means that in your life, you never escape the shit that happens. Shit happens, but you keep shifting. Because at the end of the day, always something gonna go wrong. It's like life is very funny. And what I like to do is I like to observe it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty interesting. Well, this is some beautiful shit. Because out of my own pain, I see the growth. Somebody says, yo, Ed, how you know to express all of this? Well, because I was in this shit for so long, I know how it feels like to doubt. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if you're good enough. I know what it feels like to fear. Man, look, doubt is saying, I don't know what's going to happen. That's good. Fear is like, I know it's going to happen and it's not good. You're going to die. And then worry is like, man, let's keep thinking about how you're going to die. Let's play the movie in your head. You know, that is like watching a scary movie that you created. But this is what hope is. Hope is saying, listen, I see this craziness in here, but no matter what happens, I got this. Faith says, not only do I know I got this, I know where I'm going. Somebody says, oh yeah, you're going to get out of this shit. I'm like, yeah, I am. They'll be like, well, how do you know this? I just know. I'm like, I have no idea. So it seems like it's about the same thing. It's just a different mindset. Because you're like, oh, I can get out of this. How? Because I know I'm a seed. Once you know you are a seed, you're no longer hurt because you're buried. Somebody says, I'm trying to bury this man 6 feet deep. Well, they thought they was trying to bury me, but they didn't know I was a seed. Then I sprouted out of the burial. Because sometimes in life, things are going to try to put you underneath the ground. But once you realize you're not being put underneath the ground, you're being grounded, that's the moment you're going to sprout up, baby. Man, I'm drop some fire in the chat. Yo, share this video to 5 friends, comment done. Share this podcast to 5 friends and comment done. So what I'm saying is, I know I'm excited. It's because everything that you need right now is you. And to some extent, all the things you've acquired is all the shit you've picked up along the way. And it's not you. So somebody says, well, you know, what's the true me, Ed? It's the untainted you. Untainted version of yourself. The version of you that is not touched by anything else is you. The version of you that is creative, the version of you that says, oh, this is how I can paint my life. You are a blank canvas, and your spirit is what paints it every day that you decide to be you, and not the taint, and not the stuff that's been thrown on it, that you throwing on it. So everything we identify as, to some extent, are literally masks that we wear. The moment we identify with the possibility of what we can be, it transforms everything. It allows you to reset so many times. How do you think I keep going? Like, y'all watching me here. I do this every day. Look how many people watching. 2 people. Now, how do you think I keep going? You know how long I've been doing this? 6 years. So you're like, yo, how do you keep going? Be like, man, well, Ed, how do you do it? But you know, I learned this. Listen, I'm in my backyard. This is where I grew up. This is not my house. This is my parents' house. I'm building my dreams because I know this. I know it's me, not what I have that's valuable. I know it's my presence that's valuable. It's my essence, not what I have. So I do what I need to do to continuously build me so that my presence can help people. And in that presence, my presence is a present to the world, and I'm presenting it well. And as I keep presenting my presence, that gift will come right back to me. Your gift will make room for you. Your gift will make room for you, y'all. Your gift will make room for you. And the more you share your gift, the more room you'll be made. Look around you and not see the circumstance, but look around you and see how you are, your essence. And by your very essence, you can. I'm just saying, at this moment, if you're going to give yourself the credit for all the things you did horribly in your life, for all the times you wasn't up into your own character, give yourself credit for the times you did right by you. If you're going to give yourself credit for all the things you do wrong, give yourself credit for all the things you're doing right. If you're going to give yourself credit for all the times you procrastinated, give yourself credit for all the times you've done the right things. If you're going to give yourself credit for the times you went back to that relationship, give yourself the credit for getting out of it. If you're going to give yourself credit for the negative emotions you experience, you got to give yourself credit for how you prime yourself to experiencing a positive emotion. So what I'm saying is, we can't always give ourselves credit for negativity and then we blame ourselves. We shame ourselves. We guilt trip ourselves. A lot of times we have to look at the positives in our lives and say, listen, I've seen you, but in spite of, you keep going. You got to give yourself a speech of love. A speech that says, listen, in spite of it, look where you at. If you're going to give yourself credit for all the shit, give yourself credit for all the flowers. And that is my message, y'all. And guess what? Once you start to do that, you have to let go of fear, doubt, shame, blame every single day as much as you possibly can. And one thing I do is not just a renewal of the mind, a renewal of the body, which in turn causes a renewal of the spirit. So before I go, I want to invite you all to tap in every single day. The reason why I'm able to come to you and be a vessel is because I cultivated my being early this rising. Around 7 a.m. I had something called Rising Prime. So outside here, listen, I was breathing, I was meditating, I was moving, I was getting myself to be in an exuberant state. I spoke some life into my life with some powerful affirmations. I checked in on myself before I wrecked myself. I moved my body so that the emotions didn't get stuck in my tissues. The issues are in your tissues. You got to massage them out, you got to breathe them out, you got to heal them out. So listen, this is a word. This is a way of helping you navigate through the mental. But if you want to navigate through the physical, through the body, that mind, body, and spirit, listen, I want you to come through on Friday for Rising Prime. You may have never heard of this before. It's the first time I'm telling you. But I can tell you definitely it's one of the best routines, most powerful routines in the world. I host it right back here. It's like a mini retreat in your house. So pretty much what Rising Prime is, it's a rising routine. Most people wake up sporadically trying to do something. I'm trying to go to work, and grab my shoes, boom, 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 rush out the door. But what if you woke up with an intention and an actual routine? So this is what I offer for you, a routine. A rising routine with a tribe on Zoom. So you just go to my website, you go to risingprime.co, you get your ticket, and then you'll be able to come for free on Friday and Monday and you could come every Friday and or Monday. Now I have this every day, but for free Monday and Friday. So you come, you try out the routine, we do breathing, I show you some Qigong. I will literally show you how to disintegrate fear, shame, blame from your body. Because those things are actually housed. So somebody says, well, I'm trying to change my mind, but every time I try to change, it gets right back. Well, let me ask you something. Just because you try to change your mind about something doesn't mean that it got out of your body. Listen, the mind is in the body. I want you to remember, the mind is in the body. And unless you get rid of certain emotions from your body, it's still going in your mind. Grand Rising Queen. Unless you rid of certain emotions from your body, it still lingers in your mind. Unless you breathe certain emotions out of your body, it still lingers in your mind. So it is, though to conceptualize is good, but the best way is to release through Qigong. Now, somebody want to know, how is that so effective? Well, you have meridians in your body, and those meridians are affected by your emotional states. Your organs house emotions. Now, somebody want to know, well, Ed, what does my organs house? Well, remember, this episode I'm talking about worry. If you put your hand on your left side, that's the location of the spleen. Now I want you to touch your spleen and see how it feels. When you're worrying, your spleen is affected. Your digestion is also affected. Sometimes you can't even eat. You're worrying so much. You can't even sleep because your body's like, man, I'm not even getting any rest and digest. And that affects your spleen. Your liver is affected by anger. So let's say you're angry and worried. That's double trouble. Double trouble. You don't want double trouble. Anger and worry affects the liver and the spleen. Now, if you put your hand in the back, you got the location of the kidneys. Now, not only are you worrying and angry about where you're not going in life, boom, now your kidneys are hurt. Because now you got scared. You scared about the future. A fear saying that I see demons that are not even here right now, but I see them coming for me in the future. And it affects your kidneys, depletes it. And your kidneys also have to do with sexual energies. So then if your sexual energies are off, you got both fear and imbalance. So now your digestive and reproductive is now affected. So your whole life force energy is out of whack. Now let's go up to the heart on the left. You touch the heart and your heart is sad. It is a very sad season right now. So many crazy things is happening. I know. And then some crazy thing happened. Now you're losing fear. Now guess what? The grief is housed in the lungs. Now you're breathing shallow, your blood is not flowing effectively. Now you feel like the whole world is on your chest. Your chest hurts. You feel the center of your chest. It's like something just dropped. From time to time. It hurts. And then the shoulders, you're holding up a bunch of anxiety. It feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Everywhere you're walking, your shoulders are tight. Uptight. You're feeling very uptight. So now your shoulders are really tied up. Now your neck. Now you're getting the pain in the neck because so much things are pain is in your neck. You're like, man, I didn't even know that was a thing. Well, who's the pain in your neck? Is it you? Now your neck is all tied up and like, oh, well, you could massage it. Yeah, you could do this. So that causes havoc. Now the blood not flowing to the brain. Now you got brain fog. Now all of that causes, listen what happened. The accumulation of emotions leads to stagnation. The stagnation of those energies leads to inflammation. Inflammation leads to disease. 4-step process. So now what I help people do is not accumulate. It doesn't mean you don't feel. You're a freaking human. You gotta feel. If you don't feel, start feeling. Not accumulate those feelings. Allow those feelings to come in the bus, out the bus. All right, kid, get your ass in here. Hey, I'll let you talk a little bit, but shut up, get out. It's time for you to go home. That's how emotions work. When we keep them on there, it's overpopulated. Can you handle a bus capacity of 25 but 50? You can't even handle 5. Because those kids, you're just screaming in your head. Hey, like, shut up. Shut up. So that's how emotions are. So what if every day you kind of shut up the emotions? Every day you release them out of your head, out of your body, out of your spirit. That's what I help with, y'all. Every single rising, I have something called Rising Prime. Now, I say this all the time. I'll be like, man, why is so few people coming to this Rising Prime? And I keep doing it. I keep doing it anyways. It's been a whole year almost. Because I won't stop doing my work because others outside of me don't show up. But what I want to tell you right now is I don't want you to miss out. I don't want you to miss out on the chance to do this work with me because it's amazing. It works. Somebody like, yo, you've been transforming. You're right. I have been, because I've been releasing the accumulated emotional sticks in my body. Not just by growing, not just through these words I'm giving to others that I give to what I give to you, I give to me first. Because first it has to be conceptualized and understood within me for me to express it. That's the only way I can give it to you. Now I give it to me, I give it to you. I'm growing, you're growing, rising and priming every single day, the most powerful routine in the world. So yeah, I don't want you to leave here and be like, maybe I'll show up, I'll think about it. What you thinking about? I need you to go to the website right now, literally, right? You go to Rise and Prime. There it goes right there. www.riseandprime.co. You sign up for your ticket. You pick as many days as you want to come. And you come every Monday and Friday. You don't have to do nothing. You don't got to pay nothing. This is like me inviting you to my free seminar. Literally. So I'm inviting you to a free seminar for the free. So tap in. If you're tired, sick and tired of being sick and tired, start growing with a set of people who are all about growth. Positive energy only. Rise and Prime. Listen, if you like this energy, it's the same energy you're going to get in the tribe. Why? Because we are attractive to each other. Tribe attracts tribe. So once again, don't miss out on your chance to join me in the Rising on Friday for Rise and Prime. This is one of the most powerful routines in the world. Rise and Prime. Because guess what? If you're going to give yourself credit for all the shit that you went through, give yourself credit for all the things that you're growing through. Give yourself credit for, if you like, man, my routine's been off. You giving yourself credit for, or you shaming yourself with that? Remember when you had your routine on. And remember, this is an opportunity for you to transform that routine once again. So that's why you want to go to riseandprime.co and sign up. And summary, I'm going to summarize this episode to say this. The compost of your life, the composition of your life consists of the shit that happens to you, the leaves that fell off your tree, you had to shed off those old habits, and the dirt that keeps the seams like it's covering you up. But just know that composition is actually a place of growth, because you are the seed. When they thought they was trying to bury you, they didn't know they planted you. When you thought you was buried 6 feet deep and you said my business is going down under, oh, I'm not doing as well, this is where the source of inspiration comes from. This is where you say, oh, I thought I was just a little tiny tree, but look how tall I'm getting. But guess what? The only thing I need you to focus on is keep watering the plant. That's what I do every day. Somebody, listen, I'm not a full-grown bamboo tree in the eyes of the world, but within me, I know. Because I know the essence of it. So guess what? The process of the bamboo tree is this. You plant the bamboo tree in the ground, and then you keep watering and fertilizing it every single day. You're like, I'm watering the fertilizer the plant every single day. And then people looking at you, they think you crazy. They're like, what you doing? Ed, you every day, you screaming in your backyard, rise and prime and doing, what are you doing? You're like, when is your tree going to come out? That's because they can't see the essence of you to be able to, they need to see the tree to see the tree. You have to see the tree before the tree comes. And that's what keeps you watering it every day. They're like, yo, Ed, how you keep doing the podcast every day? Well, guess what? I keep watering it. Because what I understand my essence. In my essence, I know that something will sprout out of it. So I need you to start to look at the composition of your life as compost, as an environment that will help you grow. From the earth we came, to the earth we shall return. From the dirt we grow. And as we grow, we'll propagate into many other trees. Because when a tree becomes fully grown, it makes more seeds. Those seeds fall on the wayside back to the dirt, and those seeds sprout more trees. Then you can have a whole forest out of the same. But likewise, the seeds of doubt, fear, indecision, and worry are like weeds in your garden. They will come up and they will literally spread themselves all over to the point where the fruits you can be bearing, you're no longer bearing. Why? Because the fruits you can be bearing, the ground, the space for your cultivation is not being used for limiting thinking of self-condemnation. Hitting yourself in the head with the bar you set for yourself. Stop doing that. You set the bar. It's either you could live up to it, you can raise it, or you could just let it be. And that's my message. I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator. I want to thank y'all for tapping into another Ed Talks Daily episode. By the way, if you're listening to this and you're like, man, you dropped some fire on them. You doggone right I did, with ultimate confidence. I dropped that fire on you, baby, because I've tapped into the source always. You get what I'm saying? So you want to subscribe to this podcast, edtalksdaily.com, and you'll be able to tap in. Just an observation. Every time I say a confident statement like that, some people get afraid. I want to tell you this. You go to edtalksdaily.com, you subscribe to this podcast, it will transform your life. You listen to it, it will transform your life. You leave a review, you will transform my life. Okay? So if I help you, help me. So you want to leave a review for the podcast, because I done told you. Every day I done told you. I'm cultivating my God. I'm trying to get this out to 300 people. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I asked you to share it. That's why I be asking you to subscribe. I be asking you to leave a review, because I'm giving you. So I would love for you to help the message spread. So go to edtalksdaily.com/reviews and leave a review. Like, you'll be surprised how that can support so much. All right. So with that being said, remember who you are. Remember you have the unlimited power in you to achieve whatever it is that you want, to construct the person that you already are, to reveal that person out to the world. But first you have to believe it in order to release it. And until that happens, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, all the great things you have to offer, baby. So remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. That's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator. And y'all have a good one here. You hear? You hear? You dig? I'm not full of myself, y'all. Trust me, I'm just full of my true self. Once you're free, you can never go back. You know what they say? Once you go to the black night of the soul, you can never go back. That was kind of cheesy, but you get what I'm saying. Peace. Good to see you, Queen Key. Good to see you. Shout out to you, Queen Abina. Shout out to Royal Roots. Listen, I'm gonna give a little quick sponsor. You want to get your roots on point. You want to get your hair all natural. In fact, my mother gonna need her hair did soon. That's why I DM'd you, Queen. So we about to holler at you. Book her. Listen, go follow _Royal Roots right there. She gonna hook you up if you're in the Miami area. All right. So peace and love. Y'all have a good one. Good to see you, Queen Key. Good to see you, Queen Abina. Good to see you, May. Hopefully y'all tap into Rise and Prime. And until next time, I'll holla.